Welcome to Watch the Path to Purpose show. We are here sharing inspiring stories from our path to purpose. My name is Katja from Karma Cleanse and I'm your host. Today I'm interviewing Janet Mohapi-Banks, who is a holistic high-vibrational transformational life coach.
Such a mouthful.
But I did it! She helps entrepreneurs and leaders who are feeling restless and stuck. And she helps to lift off the layers of lies we have produced, their limiting beliefs, to unveil their truths, the inner truth, and connect to their purpose by awakening their spirituality. Welcome, Janet. It's great to have you here.
Thank you very much for having me.
And wow, I just so want to know more about your work because, yes, your title was mouthful, but it sounds so cool as well, like high vibration, transformation.
Yeah.
So, before we dive into your journey, how you ended up doing what you are doing today, I would love to hear a little bit what's happening in your life today and what do you do with these leaders and entrepreneurs?
Okay, so basically how I help people is to help them just re-identify with who they really are, because we are born knowing exactly who we are. We're born with the high vibrations, of the universe, and then somewhere along the line we lose it. We listen to other people, we hear the judgments that people place on ourselves, and we internalize it all, and that keeps us really small, and it stops us from doing all the things that we love to do. So through my life I have discovered that if you maintain a really high vibration, then things just magically appear, things magically come to you. And if you know in your heart that you are really, really being true to you, like the whole of you, not just this physical being of you, but the you that is also, high in the universe, looking over everything, connected to everything and everybody, if you can stay true to that, then your life will be so much improved. It's I can't even describe the words, So that is what I help people do. I help people to realize just how awesome they are. I help people to identify all the things that are keeping them small and stuck. And then we strip those off, in a very gentle way. I don't believe in reliving the past. I believe in reviewing it and going, okay, well, now it's time to move on. Yeah, because constantly going backwards doesn't do us any good at all. We're here in the now, and we need to live in the now and move forwards.
I like that sound of that, because that's truly what's happening. We forget who we are.
Yeah.
And of course, our journeys, sometimes there are bumps on the road. And you had an experience as well that you were walking one path and then things happened and another path showed up. But could you share a little bit about that? Like, what happened there? What led you to do what you are doing now?
Okay, so back in the day, I was a luxury cake designer. I was award-winning. I was in all the wedding magazines, all the wedding blogs internationally. I was exactly where I needed to be in my business. I was making cakes for people getting married at the Ritz Hotel in London, which is like the best, like everybody's heard of the Ritz. It's like really,
yes, definitely.
So I was, top of my career. I was exactly where I wanted to be. And then I developed a digestive disorder, which meant that I was basically vomiting every day. Everything that went into my system came back out again. I went to see all the doctors. I had all the tests, and they determined that there wasn't an electrical signal going from my brain into my stomach. or from my stomach into my brain. Actually, I'm not sure which way around it was.
Yeah.
But anyway,
They
the
may not
highway was
communicating.
yeah, there was no signals. So my stomach basically wasn't listening to my brain when it was saying, right, digest this food. It was going, okay, I've got no message of what to do with it. I'm just going to get rid of it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
So
not informed this was coming in, so.
yeah, exactly. It was just like a trampoline half the time. It's not pleasant.
Yeah,
So
I get that.
yeah, this meant that I had to close my business, which made it didn't make sense to be living in the London area at that time. So I decided to leave the London area and move down to Cornwall. And I basically had to get all my affairs in order because the prognosis was that dire.
Wow.
Yeah. So here I am in Cornwall. I've made my will. I've got provision for my children. You know, everything is all sorted. And I just had to go, well, there's nothing more that I can try. I've been on experimental drugs. I've been on experimental therapies, experimental devices. And the professor that I was under in the hospital, he didn't have an answer for me at all. They knew the problem, but they didn't know how to fix it.
Yeah.
So after I got everything settled, so, you know, there was, like I said, I was just basically resigned to the inevitable. I knew what was going to be happening, but that didn't mean that I didn't have hope of finding something else. So eventually I found a chiropractor in Helston called Jade. And she said, oh, well, the top of your back is really compacted, probably from spending years of leaning over making sugar flowers for these amazing wedding cakes that I used to make.
Yeah, because that's very detailed work as well.
Yeah,
A lot of like.
And before that, I was a computer scientist, so that was all like this as well.
Yeah.
People, posture.
Okay. Reminder, thank you.
Because we do, don't we? We forget how to hold ourselves properly. And I still forget, even though I've suffered all the consequences. So Jade, the chiropractor, she cracked my back. And then after the 6th session, I got a massive headache in the side of my head that felt like electricity going up an oak tree is the best way that I can describe it. And then 6 months after that, I didn't have any symptoms whatsoever. So that electrical headache that I had, that was over in about 20-30 seconds, that was all my synapses rejoining, because she had freed a nerve that goes down the center of your body called the vagus nerve. She had freed that from my spine, and the electrical signals were flowing once again. And, you know, I was out of pain for the first time in over 4.5 years. So from living with constant pain, constant vomiting, spending a good 98% of my time in bed because I literally didn't have the energy to do otherwise. So going from that to being symptom-free 6 months later I can't describe how amazing that was.
Yeah.
So August, I wake up thinking, wow, this is incredible. I have got this incredible new perspective of life. I need to share this with people. I need to share this zest and this vitality that I have now been gifted. So, you know, even though, like, you know, a year previous, I was like thinking, how could things get any worse? If I hadn't have gone through that, I wouldn't have woken up August 2016 with this amazing appreciation that I had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because I was, you know, obviously a successful businesswoman, the first thing I thought of helping people with was business. So I became a business coach, you know, business success coach, so I could help people get to where I was in my previous business. But as I connected further to my truth, to my inner knowing, I knew that if you look after your life, if you look after you, build you, then everything else will fall into place anyway. Your business will fall into place. Your relationships will fall into place. Your happiness will fall into place, because everything is reliant on you discovering you.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm so glad you are sharing this journey, because it is like so powerful from a moment like you were basically preparing to die, like
Oh yeah.
doing and letting go and preparing, like taking care, like, okay, if I'm gone, that these things will be handled. And then there was still a spark within, like you were still looking for solutions, like, okay, what can I do? Like, okay, if I need to go, I'm ready. I'm all things are in order.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a chance, let me find it, like looking for options for healing.
Yeah. And I think that that's the key with all situations. You have to have the fork.
Mm.
So yeah, you could, this is going to happen, fine. If that happens, I am prepared. But how about opening up this option as well, and always looking for the other side to it.
I love that. Like, that's a good metaphor. Thank you for sharing it. Because, like, always, like, be prepared, do things you have to do, like, get ready. But then, at the same time, look for the other solution, if there is a solution, way out, or change things. Because how did you feel? Like, it's a major shift that you did, like, having that life, and then like really letting go. What supported you on letting go? Because get that, like the cake business was really in your heart, like preparing these beautiful cakes for couples who get married, and then you needed to let that go. How did you feel there?
Letting go of the cake business was one of the hardest things that I have ever had to do. It was my third child.
Yeah, I get that.
Children, but my cake business was my third child. It really was. And it takes as much effort. It takes as much heartache and heartbreak and love and attention and care to really nurture a business as it does to nurture a child. So to let it go was incredibly hard, but I knew that I didn't have a choice. I knew that I could not continue doing the cakes. So it wasn't, like you say, it was a release. It wasn't like a shutting down. Oh, I can't really describe it. Yeah, it was a thank you for being here. I really loved it, but now it is time to let you go. And I mean, to be fair, I kind of threw my toys out of the pram. Because I didn't want to let go. I absolutely did not want to let go of it. And then when I had to, I just walked away from everything. So I got rid of my phone number. I got rid of my contact details. I got rid of everything. So there was no, like my Twitter account and everything like that, everything to do with the cake business. I just left flat and ran away to Cornwall. But it wasn't, it was like a hold on tightly, let go lightly situation.
I get that. I get that. Like, I so get that. Like, so, and sometimes, like, even though there was a part of you that knew that there is something else for you, and still we want to hold on to things that are precious to us. And then, like, just allowing.
Yeah, and it is allowing life to just take its course. Because, and that is difficult sometimes. But if you understand that every single step you take along your path.
Oh, we have a visitor. He had something to say. That's okay. Yes, every step you take on your path, like, very important,
is part of your path.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't, like, I wouldn't be in exactly the same place I am now had that not happened to me in the past. Yeah,
Mm.
so even the dark bits of your path are still your path. They
Mm.
are what has brought you to where you are now. And you only get to where you want to be in the future by making conscious choices. You can choose, like I could have chosen to wallow and to accept my death and not look
Yeah.
for any other things. Or I could have chosen, the way I did, to find something, to keep looking for an answer.
Mm.
So it is all choices, and you have to choose what is in your greatest good, what your heart and your soul and your higher self, or if you believe in God, then your God is trying to explain to you, because every single step on your path is leading you to your destination, you know, along your journey. Your journey is your journey for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
It's to get you to where you want to be, where your soul wants you to be.
That's beautiful. And that leads me to a question that's just like from your experience, and I understand now, like gaining experience from all that you had to go through, that is something then you can help others to go through the process. Because as we both know, it can be challenging, it can be tough, even though you know, like, okay, let's go, let's move that way. But there is still sometimes hard things to let go. So,
I'm so
ooh,
sorry about my dog. He is usually so quiet.
he has something to say. He's in with us in this. Like when the dog barks, I need special attention.
Yeah. Rupert, Rupert, shh, shh.
It's okay. So, from your experience, what would you say for people, like the entrepreneurs who come to you and if they feel stuck, like
Mhm.
they have, and sometimes our ego, if you believe, like have that
Yeah,
concept in your vocabulary, like our ego holds on to things because we have put time and effort and our love into something, and then we're holding on to it.
yeah.
And then if things are not working, if they feel stuck,
Hmm.
how do you start helping them to, how
Well,
do you help them in the process?
we have to look at their belief systems, what they believe about themselves,
Mm,
not their religious beliefs or anything, or
yeah.
political beliefs, and none of that. It's all the way that what you believe about yourself. Do you believe that you are worthy to have that client and you know, that amount of money? Because often people have an incredible lack of self-worth.
Mm,
And so it's a case of rewriting the stories or around their worthiness, looking at the amount of self-love that they give themselves. So, because if you don't love yourself completely, then how can you expect other people to?
mm,
If you don't respect yourself completely, how do you expect other people to? So it's looking into all of that, and then rewriting the belief systems, rewriting the stories, because the way that the brain works, this is why I'm very holistic. I use
yeah.
energy healing, I use energy medicine, I use neuroscience. Everything is incorporated, and I bring it into the coaching when and if it feels relevant at
Mhm.
the time. So like reprogramming stories that you've been told that allow you to live without fear is a fundamental thing that, you know, I've done in just about all of my coaching that I've ever done, because everybody is living with these lies and these stories that are keeping them small. So it's identifying those, identifying exactly what story it is that makes you think that you can't earn over a certain limit. And usually, you know, it goes back to somewhere deep in childhood. But like I say, I am not a coach that goes and makes you sit in that for a long time, because I honestly don't see the benefit in it.
Mm,
I really don't. It's identifying it and rewriting it. Because like I say, the way that brain works is that you have a neural pathway that takes you from a trigger
mhm.
to an action, to a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you go down this particular pathway. So if that particular pathway is not in your best interest, if it's not working for your greatest good, then what you need to do is make a new pathway to a different outcome. And that happens through repetition. It's amazing. It's so magical. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. And what you said, like rewriting these stories, because it's also our choice what we focus on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
See?
And what you focus on, you will bring into reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is as simple as that. It's, you know, it's not a complicated thing. But if and what people tend to do is focus on the problem. Oh, the problem is this, the problem is this. You know, like, again, going back to when I was really ill, I could have just focused on the problem.
Mm.
You know, there's no electrical signal happening there. You know, I am lying in bed 98% of the time.
Yeah.
That was the problem. Whereas I chose to, sort that out, as you've said, and then focus on the solution, finding the solution. If you focus on your solution, there's nothing that can stop you, because you're not being dragged back by the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's how we relate to that. Like, yes, the problem is there. That might be a fact. But then, like, whether you focus on that one or the solution, and you are helping people to focus on this solution.
Yeah.
And finding them, discovering them. So do you have any special offer, or if people would now like, hey, this sounds something I need help with?
Yeah, I have I have one-to-one packages where I work privately, like this, exactly like this, actually, over Zoom, where we talk, and, you know, I give you exercises and things to do and focus on, you know, and that's one-to-ones. But I also have a really affordable, because I wanted to get out as much to help as many people as possible. So for £444, there's a 21-day email, self-directed personal development course. You get an email every day for 21 days. And then you also get access into a Facebook group where it's group coaching for 3 months. And then you have the option after the 3 months if you want to stay in that community. And what that course does is it takes you back to the basics. It takes you back to the daily habits that create a high vibration. It strips out all your negative beliefs. But, you know, you have to put the work in. I am there every single day in the group, so I can answer questions and I can help you, but you really have to put the work in. But yeah, £444 for 3 months group coaching is, you know, incredibly.
It's a really good deal.
Very affordable, I think. So one-to-one course or group coaching. And you can find me at janet.mohapi-banks.com or on my Facebook page.
Perfect. I will put also those links to the comments so it's easy for people to find you. And I thank you so much, Janet, for your time and sharing your journey, because I feel inspired. I'm like, wow, like this is so cool, like rewriting our stories. And that's something I have done and continue doing. It was beautiful reminder, as well as the book, like, where are you heading? Like, you have the choices to make. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And
thank you so much for having me. I've loved being here.
yes, so bye for now, and keep watching this channel if you want to be inspired by our journeys.